One of the common questions that we receive, especially when clients have children, is about child support in California and what child support covers. So, in California, child support is mandatory, and there is a guideline formula that calculates. How much the child support is based on timeshare, based on the number of children, and based on the income that each parties have. There are certain expenses that are covered by child support in California, and those are ordinary living expenses. So you might wonder what exactly ordinary living expenses means. That's going to be things like rent, utilities, food, clothing, basically things that are necessary for a normal life of the child. And a lot of times those are things where your cost is higher because you have children. For instance, you may have a higher mortgage or a higher rent because you are needing a 2 or 3 bedroom. And while the child support calculator doesn't necessarily differentiate between the ages of children, there are certainly different costs when the children are younger versus when they are older. There are certain things that are not covered in California under child support. And while it does cover the ordinary living expenses, like I discussed, there are other expenses that can be ordered to split 50-50. Those are going to be child care expenses that are incurred by either party as a result of employment, education, training for employment, or for other times that both parties agree, such as like summer camps. Also includes extracurricular activities. So if the children are involved in sports, music, dance, etc., as well as school costs, things like tuition, if the parties have agreed on private school for the children, school supplies, school field trips, and then a child's special education needs. Additionally, child support does not cover any out-of-pocket medical costs, so those that are not covered by insurance. This does exclude the monthly premium, which is factored into the child support calculator. But it does include the things like copays, deductibles, and prescriptions. And then lastly, travel expenses for visitation with the non-custodial parent, if necessary, is also not included. These are expenses that a parent must specifically ask a judge to include these additional expenses in the child support or have the costs divided either equally or pro rata. If you have any questions about child support, please contact us.